To start your textured bunny, you'll need a bunny template and you'll need the line example page that has lines on the front and some patterns on the back. First, we're going to write our name on the back of our bunny. Don't forget to write your class code below your name. And then we're going to use a Sharpie to draw lines inside the sections that are on the bunny. So notice how there's these lines on the ears, on the face, near the nose, and on the body. Those are guides for you so that you can fill those with lines and make it look like the bunny has a textured surface, like its fur. So for example, if this is one of the sections, you could choose to do little vertical lines that go up and down and that are really close together. They're kind of like little tally marks. When you fill an entire space with those, it will show texture. You could also choose to do something like wavy lines. Repeating those will also show texture. You could do zigzag, you could do little dots. Think of simple shapes or lines that you can use to fill in the sections. I'm using a thin Sharpie right now. You could also use a regular sized Sharpie if you want your lines to appear more bold. So you may want a variety, a little bit of thin lines and a little bit of the bolder lines. So when you're doing this, work in one section at a time. So I'm using some straight vertical lines to fill in the top area of the bunny's ear. And maybe I want to switch and have another design here. So I'm going to skip and then I'm going to continue with those straight vertical lines, but it is totally up to you how you fill in your bunny. You could definitely change the type of lines. The important part is filling up the space as much as you can to show a good amount of texture. The more texture you have, the more realistic your bunny will look. Now in the empty spots, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm doing some horizontal wavy lines. I'm just following the shape that I made at first. Now I'm going to do the same thing in the other ear. I want to make the ears match each other. So I'm going to repeat the types of lines that I used. Remember that you can come up with your own designs. You are the artist. The important part is showing the texture of the bunny by using the element of art line. Now I'm moving on to the sections that are on the bunny's head. When you're drawing your lines, it's important to keep them really close together. If they're really spaced out like this, that doesn't show a lot of texture. It also doesn't really look complete. If this happens, you need to go back and fill in the spaces that you can with more lines. When you put your lines close together, it creates a darker value. From far away, this looks kind of like it's a shade of gray, because the black from the Sharpie and the white of the paper kind of blend together when we stand back from the artwork. I'm going to keep filling in the sections on my bunny with different types of lines. Now, when you're working on the bunny's face, it's a good idea to have the other side match. So I'm going to put these dots here to make my sides the same or symmetrical. And when you're doing something like dots, it's really important to be gentle with your Sharpie. We don't want to press really hard on our paper with our Sharpie. That will ruin the tip of the marker and it won't be pointed anymore. So please be careful with the Sharpies when you're making dots. You only need to make a little gentle tap on the paper to create a dot. When you're working on the lines that go around the nose, notice how there's a circle sort of shape here. When you draw your lines in here, you should turn your template and draw them so that they're going in the direction of the shape. This will make your bunny's nose appear more three-dimensional and realistic. Instead of having the lines go up and down, if we turn it here, it will look a little bit more real. So the lines go around in the shape of the nose area. I hope you have fun working on your texture bunny.